The Owl Who Loved the Stars. In a quiet forest, nestled under a blanket of night, there lived a little owl named Orion. Unlike other owls who spent their evenings hunting or calling to one another, Orion had a unique passion. He loved the stars. Every night, after the sun sank below the horizon and the sky turned a deep shade of indigo, Orion perched on the highest branch of his favorite tree to gaze at the twinkling lights above. Orion wasn't just fascinated by the stars. He felt a deep connection to them. He loved the way they shimmered and told stories in the sky. He often traced the constellations with his wing, imagining grand adventures among the celestial lights. But despite his love for the stars, Orion felt a pang of sadness. "If only I could fly high enough to touch them," he often whispered to himself. One particularly clear night, as Orion stared longingly at the stars, a soft, musical voice interrupted his thoughts. "Why do you look so sad, little owl?" asked the moon, her silver glow illuminating the forest. Orion blinked in surprise. He had never spoken to the moon before. "I love the stars," he said, "but they're so far away. I wish I could fly to them and see them up close." The moon smiled kindly. "The stars are indeed far, but their light travels all the way to you. Perhaps there is another way to feel closer to them." "Another way?" Orion tilted his head, intrigued. "Have you ever noticed how the stars form patterns in the sky?" the moon asked. "Each one tells a story. If you learn their stories, you'll carry a piece of them in your heart." Inspired by the moon's words, Orion decided to learn everything he could about the constellations. He began by listening to the whispers of the wind, which carried tales of the Great Bear, the Hunter, and the Swan. He asked the wise old oak tree about the stars it had seen over centuries. And he even visited the babbling brook, which reflected the night sky, and shared its shimmering secrets. As Orion learned the stories of the stars, he felt a newfound closeness to them. He discovered that the Great Bear was a protector, the hunter a symbol of bravery, and the swan a reminder of grace and beauty. Each story filled Orion's heart with wonder and joy. One evening, as Orion shared a constellation's tale with a group of curious fireflies, the moon reappeared. "You've found your way to the stars, haven't you?" she asked. Orion nodded, his eyes shining as brightly as the stars themselves. "I may not be able to touch them, but their stories make them feel close, like old friends." The moon's smile grew wider. "And now, you've become a storyteller yourself. By sharing the stars' stories, you bring their light to others." From that night on, Orion became known as the storyteller of the forest. Animals from near and far came to listen as he wove tales of the constellations